What's up, all you sinners? Welcome to another episode of the Talk Louder podcast, where we geek out on all things rock and roll. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Leave us your likes and comments. You can also leave likes and comments on our Facebook page. Follow us on iTunes and Spotify, and visit our website, talklouderpodcast.com. I'm Metal Dave Glessner, along with my co-host Jason McMaster, and I think it's fair to say that our special guest today is easily one of the greatest metal voices of the past 20 to 25 years. Is that a fair assessment?
Hear, hear. I want to raise the chalice of blood and metal and do 3 cheers for our guest because, would you like to let everybody know who our guest is, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to take our word for it.
Because I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back in and parade him some more, but I want you to tell everybody who we have.
Yeah, we have Tim Ripper Owens with us today, and you don't have to take my word for it. If he was good enough to be hired by Judas Priest to replace Rob Halford, that tells you all you need to know right there. A magnificent singer, amazing vocal talent. Not only did he spend time with Judas Priest, he also spent time with Yngwie Malmsteen, Iced Earth, Dio Disciples, a number of other projects. But the reason he's with us today is to discuss his latest project with former Judas Priest guitarist KK Downing. That project is called KK's Priest, and the album is called Sermon of the Sinners. So we'll talk about all that in just a bit. Jason, I want you to jump back in here.
Yeah, I am beyond excited to have Tim on the show. Like we've already sort of written in, fluids on red fluids on the wall. He is top-notch singer. Can sing any style, I'm sure. I'm excited to talk to him a little bit. I mean, we could turn. We only have a short time with him due to his the time. You know, he only has a little bit of time for us today. But I could hang out with the guy just talking about vocals and singing and technique for hours.
Sure.
So, like you said, he's promoting a new record. I think that it's incredible, and it says a lot that, him and KK stayed in touch, obviously. I want to hear in his words, how the writing process went. Was it similar to back in Priest? There's just 100 things that I want to talk to him about, but, the main thing is, and, KK's not a Judas Priest. There's reasons why that's not what we're talking about today. There's the reasons why Tim Ripper Owens and KK Downing are still working together. That's what I want to talk about. Want to talk about the new record and the process. As long as KK is making music, as long as Ripper is making music, and bonus, them making music together in the style of what we know is good old loud, fast, heavy metal.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. The world's a better place.
I'm totally in, and we are extremely proud to have Tim Ripper Owens on the Talk Louder podcast today.
This is awesome. I'm outside. You got the tape recorder on now, and he's pushed both the buttons, and we're ready to go.
I made sure to press them at the same time, like you said. Thanks for the help.
Yes, yeah. Well, I know are you holding the microphone from the little
the little wire as big as a string? Yeah.
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 Well,
if the kids only knew what we had to go through back then.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I usually have my kid in here helping me, so we're doing pretty good so far. So listen, I know we don't have a whole lot of time, and there's so much ground we could cover with you, but obviously we want to focus on your latest project, that being the KK Priest record with your former bandmate KK Downing of Judas Priest. The album is called Sermons of the Sinner. I believe it comes out October 1st. What can you tell us about the writing of that album? Is this a case where you and KK were collaborating from the get-go, or is this a case where maybe KK had a lot of the music done and then the call went out for a singer?
Well, I think, he decided, I think he really decided to do it. We did a show together on November 2019 in November. David Ellefson and Les Binks was on drums and AJ on guitar. And he got the bug. He wanted to do it. And then when he found out Judas Priest wasn't going to have him involved with the 50th anniversary get together, I think he thought maybe, most fans would think he'd be involved no matter what the book says. When he did that, he said, okay, let's write it. He called me to let's do an album, and he already started writing. He already really was in the work. So he wanted to push the buttons on this. He wanted to show everybody, I want to have to say what I'm doing with this creatively. He knew he was going to write the songs for me, so he's writing music and writing it. So on this one, now at the end of it, when it was all said and done, we were in a studio, he said, you got any ideas, song ideas? I'm like, Ken, we're just about done with the record. I mean, it was kind of funny, but we'll do that next time. And I think the advantage was the other guitar player, AJ, he laid down the vocal guides, and he's an amazing singer. So he could really lay down something to say, this is the, being that Ken knew exactly who he's writing for. He knows how I sing inside and out, so he was able to go. And I can tell you, he was telling AJ, this is how I want Tim to do it, And to be honest, AJ probably had an easier time singing me than I do. He's a good singer.
Awesome.
He's a fantastic guitar player and a good singer. So yeah, Ken really had it all. He had the idea. I think he wanted to really show, and it shows too. It's an amazing record.
Yeah. And you already answered one of my other questions. Do you call him KK or do you call him Ken? So you answered that.
Well, in this interview, I'll call him both. It's kind of funny because everybody calls him Ken around us. Even fans call him that now. It's funny, for years growing up, I just called him KK. I mean, until I was in the band, I never heard anybody ever call him anything else but KK. And
well, that's the cool thing, is you were a huge fan before you got before you.
Oh, I was when in the 80s.
Door. So in
the 80s, that's we had to get magazines though, didn't we? We had to get magazines. If the record come out, we had to listen to the radio on a Tuesday night at 8 p.m. They're going to play the new song, or MTV. So you couldn't get information back then as much, right? They were rock. I always tell my kids this. They were rock stars. I feel bad that you've lost. I mean, they were pictures on my wall. Yeah. Now what they've had for breakfast.
Right.
I mean, I'm at Waffle House right now, and I just had, and it's like, it's a different, you got Ariana Grande licking donuts in the donut shop, and it's on video. So it's a lot different.
So you got posters of Superman on the wall, and then here you are hanging out with Clark Kent.
Yeah.
You already know what he looks like. It's you call him what his mom called him, stuff like that.
Well, all of a sudden now though, people call him Ken. It's really strange because even fans, I'll be talking, Ken, and I'm like, because that's why I never know. I say KK half the time and Ken half the time.
Yeah. So I gotta bring this up, man. You put yourself under the microscope when you joined Judas Priest, obviously, but it's a dream come true for you. You're stepping into massive shoes. By all accounts, you do a fantastic job, but you're scrutinized to death because you're taking over such a high profile gig. And now here you are again, teamed up with KK Downing. So you're either a glutton for punishment or you welcome the challenge.
Well, I mean, I think now with 30 years or so of me doing it, I think I've kind of, made my own shoes to fill now, so.
There's no doubt. You're excellent at what you do. I'm a fan of your singing. I could talk to you for hours about your vocal training, or if any, background, everything as well, because, I'm a singer myself, and you're incredible. You're great.
Well, thank you.
Great vocalist.
Thank you.
Power metal singer from hell. So,
well, thank you very much. See, all that choir I took paid off, didn't it?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I knew singing in the madrigals was one day going to really pay off for me. The thing is, when I joined Judas Priest, I knew what I was getting into. I think the hardest part about joining Priest for me wasn't even filling Rob Halford's shoes. It wasn't singing the material, doing it. It was the era that I became a member of Judas Priest. The worst part of heavy metal. 1996 when it was non-existent. So you're swimming upriver right then,
Right.
And I think Dave was right. I think Dave was right. Glutton for punishment.
Yeah. So at least now it's a little better time. I mean, now's a better time to do things. I mean, listen, I went from Judas Priest filling a beloved. I mean, he was more than a beloved singer. He was someone who influenced so many people. Yes. But then I went to Iced Earth, who had the same thing with their singer. So I kind of just kept going to do it. But I was ready for Judas Priest. I knew once I walked on stage and sang, if you didn't like me, you didn't like me. I can't. But like Ken used to say, the proof is in the pudding. Come to the concert, watch him,
Yeah. And you're sort of in this unique position where, the fans and the critics alike are gonna look at this and they're either gonna say, "Oh, it sounds too much like Judas Priest, therefore you're copying Priest," or it doesn't sound enough like Judas Priest, and they're disappointed. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, kind of thing.
I mean, people should know by now. I can sing just about any style of music there is, from clean, high. I mean, there's a video of me singing a song from Jesus Christ Superstar on YouTube. I could sing like Pantera, Sepultura, but I sing what the song fits. And it's really funny that you put this record out. People's like, "Oh, look, he's trying to sound like Rob Halford." Why now would I try to sound like Rob Halford? Right. I mean, nobody said I try to sound like Rob Halford when I sang the exact same way in my solo band or in my Scream Machine. Nobody went, which Scream Machine's a lot like Sermons of the Sinner song. It's all high notes. And no one ever said, "Oh, he's trying this." I mean, I'm singing like me again, 30 years. That's and right. Ken writing, KK's trying to write. No, I think KK's written songs for Judas Priest for 40 years.
Yeah.
I think now you know who wrote a lot of stuff, and he was a main writer in that. This is how he writes. This is what he loves. Why would he do anything different?
I think that you, of course, there was, in other people's eyes, you had to prove yourself. You got the gig, like Dave was saying earlier. It's like it's a big deal that you got the Priest gig and originally back then, and so once people heard the records you made with Priest, and then your solo stuff and just other projects and everything, obviously they know that you can sing. They should leave it alone. Whether if someone's going, "Look at him trying to clone, he's cloning." Like, no. You wear your influences on your sleeve anyway. That's fine. But you have become your own entity, just like KK doesn't have shit to prove.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So I think that you guys working together makes the most sense. And still, let me ask a question. Would Ken, I feel weird calling him Ken, would Ken, is he still cool with you working on other projects and doing your own thing?
Well, I have to pay the bills. I mean,
sure.
Here's the thing. Once this gets really up and running, I will be 100% in cake for KK's Priest. Sure. I will mark off the time. But right now, if you can't tell me we're going to do shows or I'm not going to make money, I've been doing a lot of solo shows. I got to, we're looking at trying to get to 3 Trimmers to tour in November. I could have put solo touring together right now in America, but the management with KK's Priest said, "Don't do anything after August 30th. Now I'm kind of wide open, sitting home going, now what am I going to do? Oh. Because the uncertainty, so he has to be okay for me to do other things.
Yeah.
Because unless I'm on a giant retainer, then you know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah, well, not likely. Some people might think that, KK is just writing checks to you to keep you around, but I don't know if that's really,
Well, and they will do
proper.
Things like that. And, but it's not, there's nothing, you can't get it going yet. The machine has to get rolling first. Yeah. And, you don't go invent something and expect to get your paychecks right away, right?
No.
You got to wait till it goes. And I think that's it. I understand that. They just everybody needs to understand, like in that camp, that I have to do other things to get going, you know? Sure. And once I find out, I'm 100%, I'm all Ken's.
Right. So you mentioned Les Biggs earlier in the conversation, and I know that there was talk of bringing him out on tour. So what's the status of him and possibly joining you on the road once you solidify some tour dates? Is he recovered from his injury? Are you still having that discussion?
Yeah, I think so. You know, he was when we first announced that he was going to be the drummer, everybody knows that. And I think when I went to record, he got injured. I don't know if he even wants to really be on it, because we were going to tour pretty extensively, right? And I don't know if he really wants to do that anyways, to be honest. And I think all of a sudden it's like, hey, I got hurt. And also I'm not sure if this is going to be, you know, if I can do this or I want to do this. So, you know, we didn't announce it until we released the record. People got mad at us because like, oh, they lied to us. No, we didn't lie to anybody. It's just, there was nothing to tell anybody until we started doing promo, you know? And when we put the record for sale, we told everybody what the band lineup was. I know I wanted Les too. Les is unbelievable. I remember I got to jam with him for the first time. I was doing a solo tour in England, and I go to London, and they said, Les Binks is out there. I'm like, are you shitting me? Because I was like, oh my God. And I said, Les, if you're out there, you want to play a song? And here he comes walking up to the stage. And I'm like, what? Shit.
So you were in mid show and set it in your mic. Hey Les, where you at, buddy?
Yeah.
Holy
yeah, and here he
that's
comes.
Hilarious.
I'm trying to, because, you know, listen, you don't see him that often, right? I mean, you saw him on those records back then, but he's not one of these guys who's done a lot, and he does a lot of local stuff. And here he comes, and we played Run Wild and Hellbent for Leather, Green Manalishi, maybe things that you know, he did. And it was just like, holy crap, was it cool. I mean, his drum fills, it was just like, and he just hits so light. And I was like, man, this is amazing. So I wanted him to. So hopefully, if we do these tours, Les will come out. I mean, we got an amazing drummer. Sean is a drummer for 3 drummers in the band Cage as well. And he's, I thought he was like in his 20s. He just celebrated his 40th birthday. So it really pisses me off that he looks that good. But you know what? If anything's going to age him, it's touring with me. So I'll probably.
His time is coming.
He is really, really good and the perfect drummer for us. But yeah, hopefully Les will come out, because Les is a great guy, and I know all the fans would love it.
I'm doing a gig with Cage next month down here in Houston.
Oh, are you? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm playing with him in Dallas the next day now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So August 20th, I'll be in Houston with Cage.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's funny about, I think there's next night. What's funny is there's a festival there.
Right.
They asked me to do this a couple months ago, and then they were going to have me tour in Houston and all that. I was actually going to, because I'm just going to use Cage to play my solo stuff. Oh. So I would be on the same bill as them. So like at your show, I would have played it with those guys backing me up.
Damn it.
And, but I was told I wasn't allowed to do anything around then. So I just got this. I just went to England and recorded, and they said, yeah, we don't have anything going on. I said, are you kidding me? So I called Sean about booking the 3 trimmers and like whenever. And then I said, maybe that festival in Dallas we can still do. It's called like the Power Fest, I think.
Yeah. I've been seeing some promo for that.
Yeah. So I just, and I got a pretty good set list with like Scream Machine. And it's actually scared me a little bit. Painkiller, the Sentinel, Burn in Hell. It's a pretty good set list.
Speaking of the Sentinel, on the new album with KK, you have a song called "Return of the Sentinel," I think, and so it's kind of it's being billed as sort of a sequel to the Defenders of the Faith track. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, it's great. It's my favorite track on the record. Really, it ends the album, and it's like an epic piece, you know. I mean, the Sentinel was the same way, the way it started, and you know, it was a shorter song. This is a longer song, but it's got this epic ending with this mellow acoustic like guitar solo-y thing that reminds me of something from Rock Rolla. And then I got these massive high notes wailing in the background. But it's a really good song from the first riff. It's really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just happy to hear you so excited about it.
I know. Yeah. You can tell you're enthused.
Yeah. You know, the record has a little bit of everything. Releasing the first two were like right in your face, you know, smashes. And then we come with that cheesy kind of metal 80s Brothers of the Road kind of song, you know, with that's so good to play live and so good to crank up. So it's got a little bit of everything on it, but it has these epic songs like you know, The Return of the Sentinel and a couple other ones.
Yeah. And I imagine you're going to touch on one or two Judas Priest songs at least while you're out. And a lot of people point to Cathedral Spires as not only one of your best vocals, but one of their favorite Judas Priest songs. It stands out in the Priest catalog, and I know it's a fan favorite. So first of all, you got to be very proud of that, to know that people are ranking that song right up there with so many Priest classics. And so can we expect to hear that out on tour?
Well, it'd be good. I know we'll play Burn in Hell. We'll probably play One on One. Maybe Hell is Home. We played Hell is Home last time. Funny Hell is Home story. Cathedral Spires, I've done on my solo tour, and it's a tough one because there's so much going on. And it's funny because the whole song's easy to sing except that very beginning where it's like, breathe, you know, yeah, all these high note stuff. And it's like, oh, because it goes from clean and you're like, oh shit. But it's a good one to do. It's a good one to do. But Hell is Home. I go to do that show with Ken, right? This is great. Last year, it was 2019. And what people don't understand, since we have a singer here, he'll know. You know, when we played with Priest, we were in D. Well, it only really brought songs down a half a step because they played it in E flat when they toured. So people's like, oh my God, he can't sing everything. It's like half a step down. And we did it because all the Jugulator and Demolition stuff were tuned lower. So they just kind of made straight across the board, one tuning for everything. Well, Hell is Home's recorded in C.
Right.
And so I go over there to do that show, and AJ says to him, hey, Ken, we're playing this in E flat. And he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, well, it's recorded in C. He goes, yeah. He goes, did you tell Tim we're doing this in E flat? And he goes, I didn't tell him. He goes, don't tell him. He'll be fine with it. He'll be able to sing it. But just don't tell him. It's like it's a secret. Like I'm not going to know when it's. I mean, it goes from
step and a half higher than normal. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. But you know, it's funny. The whole time I sang a Priest, people sometimes would bring up, "Oh, he's tuned lower," and I'm thinking, yeah, but you're not saying anything about, because even when I toured with Priest, Hell is Home still went up to D.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm making songs at the top of my level. Burn in Hell, One on One, Bloodstained, Cathedral Spires. I mean, I don't know if Cathedral might be in. Some of them are in D, anyways, but. Some songs actually went up in tuning. But yeah, I just told him while we were shooting this video, I said, if we're going to play Hell is Home, we can't play everything in E flat. All my stuff from Jugular and Demolition, the guitars have to come down. As long as it's even in D, just keep it there, you know, because I'm used to singing it tuned in D, so it's not that bad. But so I'm like, you got to
at least be the half step.
Yeah, just put everything so it's a little bit closer to it. I mean, I might
even D is a whole step higher. Still, you're only getting a half.
Yeah.
So,
you know, looking at me, why sort of like a leper vibe, but it's looking at me. I just sang it the other night in D, and it's like, man, oh man.
So Dave's right. Dave's been right the whole time we've been talking to you. You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I know.
You're putting up with it, and you're doing a great job.
I do it all the time. When I remember touring with Priest, they said, how many shows can you do in a row? Now, remember, the metal scene sucked. The shows are smaller. They went from 80s gods to doing these tours, you know, and obviously people are probably blaming me, but everybody was touring in those places, right? Everybody's playing Bob's Big Bamboo and things like that, you know? Sure. Everybody was. So anyways, they said, how many shows can you do in a row? And I said, I don't know, how about 4? And okay, 4 in a row. 4 in a row, day off, 4 in a row. Next tour, 5 in a row, day off, 5 in a row. All of a sudden, next tour, 6 in a row, day off, 6 in a row. I'm like, what in the hell?
Here we go.
And I know they had to hate it, but it was funny. They just, you have to do what you do. But they would just, oh, he can sing that. Oh, he's singing fine. Let's add another one.
See, I hit on a theme here. He is a glutton for punishment.
I am.
Well,
so now that I think about it,
there's a healing. That one day off is like gold. You're just healing up just by your rest and your.
It is, and now I do
rehydration.
I'll do whatever I have to now because you got to pay the bills. So if I have to do 10 in a row, I'll do 10 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
But it's my own sets, and I can change the set list however I want too. I can go, you know what, tonight we're not doing Scream Machine,
right?
But yeah, it's one day off. It's funny you have that one day off, and then when you come back, that first show is the second, third show is the best show for me. The first show is like it's just reawakening my voice again, you know. And but now once I got my mid 50s. Oh, it's way harder all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, take us back real quick to your what I presume would be your teenage years. What's the first Judas Priest concert you ever saw?
Defenders of the Faith.
Ah, that was my first one too.
Yeah. Here in Ohio, we had Coney Hatch and Great White open.
Yeah, we had Great White in San Antonio.
Yeah. Austin, we had Great White. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, I still can't believe I can remember Coney Hatch. That's so funny. I remember it. Yeah, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever that, he kind of came out of the fire of the cat. They started with Love Bites, that one, right?
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it was great. Yeah. And see, I was a little bit of a late bloomer with it. My brother got, I've told the story a million times. I'd gotten REO Speedwagon High Infidelity. And my brother got Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. And I was like, what in the hell? Look at those guys. What is that? And then I heard Electric Eye and went, I'll tell you why he got me. He changed his voice. I liked versatility because I grew up singing in musicals and in choir. It's not a lie. I really did. And I was like, how he changed his voice like 3 times at the very beginning of the song and it sounded different. And then I became I still love REO Speedwagon though, but I became a fanatic. I didn't have any REO Speedwagon posters in my room.
Yeah. The clothes weren't as cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't a superhero, right? So.
Nope. Now, if the singer had a leather biker cap on, it might have been kind of cool, but he didn't do that.
There you go.
I forget the singer of REO Speedwagon's name. What is it?
Kevin Cronin. Yeah.
Kevin Cronin. Yeah. A light man. This is another little tidbit for you. The light man that ran for Ronnie and did all the scenes and all the stage setups, he runs for REO Speedwagon now. So I can't wait till he comes around so I can go meet him.
Nice. Cool. Nice. Awesome. Well, Tim, tell us once again the name of the new album, when it drops, and when we might possibly see you out on the road.
Well, Sermons of the Sinner, KK's Priest, Sermons of the Sinner. It's moved back to October 1st. 2040.
Well, because numbers are on the rise. Yeah.
Yes, we gotta. And I think it must have been pushed back. Everybody keeps asking me. I don't know. You guys know more information than I'm being told, but I think because of the demand for the record, and it's so hard to get vinyl right now. Vinyl companies are way behind. Three Tremors, they said 6 to 8 months to get vinyls made for the record.
Wow.
So I think they really want to make sure they have everybody getting it at the same time. But it was October 1st, and you can check anything out. We'll be touring, hopefully hitting the road. There'll be another video and song coming out soon. You can check all my stuff on timripperowens.com or any pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just check Tim Ripper Owens and weed out the fake ones.
Right.
We'll do it. Tim, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on an amazing career. I mean, what a literally a dream come true. I mean, you're living the life that a lot of kids grew up wishing for, and you went after it and made it happen. And that's just amazing. So,
well, one more band I get fired from. I'm on a list, David. I'm on a list.
Well, don't get fired until you get this album out and you go on tour, because we want to see you live.
No, they won't fire me. No, it'd be great. You guys, thanks for having me. Let's do it again. Don't be strangers.
Absolutely.
I'm always around. So get a hold of me on social media if you have anything else and let me know.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Tim. We appreciate it.
All right.
I'm Dave Glessner on behalf of my co-host Jason McMaster and our very special guest, Tim Ripper Owens. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Talk Louder podcast.